Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, hello, how are my royalty, my lovelies? Okay, let's get some boiling hot tea. And yes, it's going to be another river of racism. It's like we've got some haters and just they, for some reason, they They believe in reverse racism. They're against DUI. That is, and then they say diversity is a weakness. And when I say that, you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. The more they talk about Americans, we know who they are talking about. They say that they are America, they are American, that the Super Bowl should just be meatloaf and maybe fried chicken. Why maybe fried chicken? I'm just wondering, you know. Then I just did the episode about that reality star, yeah, quote unquote reality star, talking about why weren't there any white people, and it's just like, get over yourselves. You guys think that you always have to be in every single thing. But yeah, this is going to be a political river of racism episode because after what the orange man got caught doing with that social media clip with Mr. and Mrs. Obama, and also, I still haven't recorded. Yeah, there is some video where if you watch the episode 7 minutes in, it is a message talking about how Epstein was having an event, I believe, but or something was going on, and but Epstein was telling the person that with the orange man, make sure there's no black women. He doesn't want anything to do with black women. Don't let black women near him and stuff like that. So, and then we have to remember about the redlining or the restrictions within his building for black people, and then the exonerated five, the Parkland Five, and everything, and just the black jobs and what he said about eating cats and dogs, and it's just like one thing after another. He has stated, I'm the least racist person. Like, no, stop lying. Stop. And then his followers are like, oh, he said he's not like racist, and he never lies. He doesn't lie. Oh, but yeah, I'm gonna be nice. It's like in this episode, I'm starting to I want to get really petty on what I think about them. Actually, I was a little petty last year during the Super Bowl, especially when some of them kept saying that there's no African American anthem. We shouldn't sing it. We shouldn't recognize it. Even though with the original, we don't sing the whole thing. We stopped singing parts of it because the third stance, yeah, I believe it's the third stance that mentions slaves and slavery, and yeah, basically it's basically in a prideful way. Yeah, so the reason why we have the African American one is because we needed a new song that didn't reference us as slaves, but the ignorance in our education system wants to make sure they don't teach that, so that those people have the nerve to they feel like they have a right to be more racist, right? Okay, so on top of all of that, there's more racism that the orange man is like, he says he's not racist while doing some of the most disgusting, awful, bigoted, racist things. And I keep hearing about different meetings going on in the White House, and especially meetings where they won't allow African Americans in the meetings. There was a farmers meeting, and some of the leading African American farmers were, like, I guess, calling in to try to get in the meeting, and they're like, no, it's like, we don't have DEI with this meeting. And it's like, okay, like, the way that MAGA, the way that Republicans see DEI is just, no, we just want white people. And remember, like, Nike is going through some lawsuit or DEI situations because, like, the committee under the Orange Man is now accusing Nike of not having enough white people work for them. So yeah, it's like basically to them, DEI is majority of white people are supposed to be having the positions or higher paying positions or on panels or in committees and meetings, and it's only their voice that matters. And yeah, yeah, we know why they did the whole All Lives Matter years ago. Yeah, we already know why. But yeah, there is a farmers meeting that just happened, and one of the African American farmers, a great representation or someone who goes around and does like talks and things and like supports the African American farming community, they wouldn't let him in. And then they blamed it on DEI. And but then a lot of these people, you know who I'm talking about, again, they don't want to read about diversity or diversity, equity, and inclusion. They are too busy listening to Fox, quote unquote, like quote unquote Newsmax, and a lot of the ignorant, highly uneducated, ignorant, bigoted like channels where they're just fed more bigotry. And then they feel like they're allowed to be bigoted because they're just like, oh, well, the, that R. Kelly Megan person, yeah, she's saying bigoted things, so I can follow what she says. Oh, the Orange Man is like he said certain things about the African and African American communities, and whenever he talks about Africa, he's always blaming the black people, and oh, he brought over only the white Africans. It's like because he said they are the ones in danger when even with that story, they flipped it and twisted it all around. Like, so during the apartheid, and it's like, and that's one thing that really, all around the world, the non white people had to fight for their rights against the colonizers. But then at the same time, colonizers are like, well, no, even like we're gonna let you have your land back or kind of your country back, but we want the property, we want the gems, we want the valuables. It's like it is ours. Look at the museums up in England, the jewels and the crowns and like all yeah, yeah. It's like they say that they're gonna take better care of it. So yeah, but and a lot of the MAGA people, they don't understand their privilege. They say they don't have privilege while taking advantage of their privilege and putting down other people with their privilege all day, every day. They use their privilege while saying they don't have it. And at the same time, they can't stand when a person of color shines bright and when people, including white people, are looking at this person as a role model or as talented and amazing and artistic. To them, there's like, no, they're going to put down his show because they didn't understand a word. Like, if you want to stay ignorant, stay ignorant. And it's like, if you're so proud to not know any other language when in other countries, it is impressive, it is beautiful. And actually, I've done some studies, and the more languages you know, it's like, yeah, the more knowledge and information you're able to absorb because like different languages opens up your mind and like the translating and everything like that. And depending on the level, because especially Mandarin, I believe, is one of the toughest languages in the world to learn. And there are some even in the African dialect that are kind of like in the upper tiers as well. And it's like if you were to learn some of these languages, the way that it develops the mind is amazing. And in other countries, learning three, four, five languages is very normal and beautiful and like just oh, very impressive. But here, speak English. And it's just like this. So those people, and you know who I mean by those people, want us to just be as dumb as possible. But then they get mad when people of color and black people are able to apply and gain different jobs and they say it's reverse racism. No. If you decide to stay in your ignorant like tunnel, that's you, boo. Do you. It's like a lot of the people who are woke, and that's one reason why the more on average, the more African American or well, African American women are the most like well educated and in a lot of ways the most woke. And one reason is because we go through racism and sexism. And then on the other side of it, like majority of college educated people are more Democrat. I didn't say all, I said majority. And yes, some start off as Democrat, but then, especially once they make money, once they see the power of money and capitalism and their advantages of being able to have power over people and being above them and things like that, yeah, some of them do turn conservative. So it all depends. But then let's look at another part of it because there was also another meeting that I don't think it happened yet, but there's going to be another meeting at the White House with the senators, and it's supposed to be all senators. Well, the Orange Man is only inviting the Republicans. He will not have any of the Democrat senators invited to this. I believe it's the senators. I could yeah, I think it is the senators. But then there's another meeting where I think it's like a luncheon or dinner or something like that, where it's supposed to be all of a certain like governmental like demographic and things like that. But the Orange Man has not invited any, like none of the black ones in that demographic are invited. But then he wants to lie and say he's the least racist person. Like, no, no, like, and then his followers allow him to lie. They allow because they want to be able to lie too. They want to be able to say that they go through reverse racism, that they go through it the hardest, that they are no longer the main character, that they're being flooded by all of these other cultures when they just want to eat their meatloaf and stay stupid and ignorant and bigoted and be able to be hateful, awful, terrible, just, yeah, conniving people. Yeah, isn't that right? Yeah. And how much is it going to take for their demographic to realize that we know they're racist? Many of them still want to say they're not racist, but what is it going to take before, like, some of us is like, is it going to take us catching you in your white hood? Are we going to have to see you at a Klan meeting? What is it going to take? And because you want to wear a mask when you go to your little like white power protest thing, and then you want to hide in a U-Haul and things like that, why don't you show your faces? Why? You refuse to wear a mask during COVID, but now you want to wear your mask when you're working for ICE and you want to do your marches and stuff. And then even with America First, that has racist history. And so, like a lot of the same demographic always want to say America First, but they don't understand. They're basically restating Klansmen's like remarks, quotes, and like branding. They don't want it to be educated to other people. They don't want everyone to know this because they don't want to be seen that way, even though that is the way they are showing themselves. And so if you didn't know, look it up. Yeah. I might do an episode, but I thought there's so much to talk about, which also I have so much more uploading to go. But even look at my Patreon. I have so many River of Racism, and I made sure, maybe not in all of them, but if you even type in River of Racism in the search portion, I try to make sure I put in as many titles as I can. And there's even some video where some of these men are saying the N word, and they are just so proud and happy of being racist. And each one of them are Orange Man supporters, each and every single one. And I have so many other postings and screenshots of racists. And the sad part is, I have so many more to do, which I will do some more today. And I will be doing more throughout the week. But yeah, today, yeah. But seeing how hateful and awful and vile a lot of people are just over the color of our skin. But that's a funny thing. Like during Martin Luther King Day, they always want to flip it. We're not supposed to judge us by the color of our skin. Okay, okay. When it comes to Bad Bunny and the Super Bowl, that's all you were doing. That's all you were doing. The Orange Man is not inviting people based off of the color of their skin. So maybe one of you Republicans need to go and call the Orange Man and remind him about Martin Luther King, because a lot of you guys want to use it to your benefit. You want to twist it around and make it sound like something when you know that that's not what Martin Luther King Jr. said. And then even some of the people who like that demographic follows, they then put down Martin Luther King Jr. and or they say he wasn't a good man and blah 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 blah. But the thing is, he wasn't perfect. Nobody's perfect. I know. Well, Black baby Jesus knows I'm not perfect, but I love thy neighbor. I care about others. One reason why I started this channel, because I go through all the isms and I want people to understand how it feels for about like the racism, the ableism, the sexism, the hatred and judgment that goes on a regular basis. And politically, a lot of people don't stay up on the politics, and or a lot of people say it's not a big deal, especially a lot of these white men. And of course, politics won't matter to you because this country was made for you. A lot of them are like, oh, I don't care who's get voted in. Oh, yes, it doesn't matter. Because when you got here, you took over. You tried to enslave the Native Americans, but that didn't work because you guys didn't think or realize these people knew this land better than anybody else. So then you went and kidnapped some black people and then forced slavery based off of skin color. And then like refused to give reparations years later. Instead, you drowned cities, drowned them, and then had the massacres and Jim Crow laws and segregation. And now even some of the Republicans, they're kind of hinting that segregation wasn't a bad thing. And now we have a group of people creating a whites only town. And don't forget about the sundown towns back in the day. Lake City, Michigan felt like a sundown town. Sure does. Sure did and still does. Yes. Oh, by the grace of God, I hope I never have to go back to that city. Yes, I will make sure I never have to go back to that city. But yeah, if you don't know, go back. Like, I have over 600 episodes, so I would just suggest to catch up. But yeah. And then it's really sad because just now, a lot of the people of color are just now seeing the racism that Black people have had to face on a regular basis. A lot of the people of color thought we were lying, making it up, or just having it as an excuse on why we have not succeeded or like skyrocketed past certain groups, or why maybe certain parts are or certain areas are not as like flourishing and things like that, but they don't realize the highway structure and how they built them on purpose in order to drag down the African American population. And then even with education and how they try to restrict, and basically that's how we got have the historically Black colleges and universities. And even now with the Crown Act, we still can't get that federally legalized because Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert and people like them who they want to mock us, tease us, and put us down, but then all of a sudden say, it's not racist. I didn't vote against it because I'm racist. The more you want to lie, the more you want to lie. And then even the orange man, whenever he can put down, especially Black women, but then it's like a lot of the men have not noticed, like, he loves tearing down women. And then he had the nerve to say that since he's rich, he can grab women by the kitty. And then he would brag about, like, a little girl, I think a 10-year-old was on the escalator, and he said he was going to be dating her in a certain amount of years, which she would have still been illegal. Like I think he said 16 or 17. Yeah, nasty. And then a lot of the people who follow him have terrible reputations and records when it comes to marriage and women and some little girls. Yeah. And a lot of these people are not Black or people of color. But then they always want to say the villains are Black and people of color. They always want to give us the bad reputation. But then when we hear about a school bang bang going on, and majority of the time we know, like, only one time where they kind of hard on the victim, and it was because they were non-gender or trans. Yeah, that was about the only time. But whenever it was a white man or a white boy, yeah, they don't want to. We just have to pray. We just have to, like, no, okay, we need some new laws. But then when one of their leaders says that, no, it's like we need these to happen so to be able to keep our mm, mm. Then they wanted to call some of the people on the left racist because they weren't just crying and sighing and just being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they told their truth. But then what did the Republicans do? On purpose, get some of them fired. But they were telling their truth, they were telling their opinion. It's like you guys did it with George Floyd and even mocked him. It's like you guys didn't care about that Black life. And it's like you guys only care when it's your population, because a lot of you guys didn't start waking up about ICE until two white people were eliminated. That poor Black guy who was eliminated by an ICE person, I don't even think he was on duty. You didn't really hear anything about him. And I think this year, I think I heard about 23 people have passed away because of ICE. We don't really hear too much about the other people. And then I think I wanted to have a full conversation about this one story where the father got taken by ICE and his son had a disability and passed away while his dad was away. And I don't think they let him go to the funeral. But part of me was just like, where was the son? Who was taking care of him? Who was watching over him? Because they say all lives matter unless he's a person of color, unless he has a disability. It's like we all remember what the older millennials said about people with disabilities. Let's just get a like one of those slingshots. Go to a mountain, or a large slingshot, go on a mountain and just sling them over the mountain. Yeah. So the Republican Party is just full of bigots. They come in all different flavors of bigotry: racism, sexism, ableism, and a combination of all of them. It's pretty disgusting and frightening and just despicable. But what words would you call it? Maybe, yeah, put those in the, you know, messages. But I hope some people are going to finally start realizing, or maybe they already know he's racist, but they love him because he's racist and they allow them to be racist. Because I've already told you in a couple other videos recently that just like with products and marketing, when it comes to social media, you follow people that mirror you. And with like that Matt Walsh guy and like certain other, like, yeah, he was the one who said that slavery is okay because it's in the Bible. Mm. And he's said so many, in my opinion, he has said so many awful bigoted things. So, and this is why, even with my dating advice, I keep saying, ask the political questions, ask your date who they follow on social media, and maybe even like both get on YouTube app on your phone and switch phones. So then you can see what their next recommended videos are. Because this way, if you see Joe Rogan, if you see Matt Walsh, if you see Nick Fuentes and all of them, or people like them, maybe I should make a list so that when you're on your date and you're wondering, you can have like that list so you can double check. Because even like Jake Paul and like it's like I want to say the Beast guy. Oh, I can't. I do not like him. But it's like I don't know where he's voting, but the with the documentaries or the information that I've heard about him, he's a sexist in my opinion, an alt-right sexist jerk. Yeah, that felt good. That felt really good to say. But yeah, when people try to tell me that, or even throughout the last few years when I posted my list of standards, and a lot of these right leaning men kept calling me racist because I will not date a Republican, a MAGA or Orange Man supporter. I will not. But then they turned like that's not a race. Political standing is not a race. If you think it is, you need to check yourself and read a book, go to the library, do some research. Bless your heart. So, yeah. I have a lot more to say, but at the same time, I think I gave a pretty good, summary. So I just say, from a dating aspect, ask those questions and do that activity. Trust me, because a lot of men are gonna lie. A lot of them are gonna lie. So if you can just ask that question sporadically and like just hand them your phone, so then that kind of puts like, yeah, they like to put pressure on us ladies. Put a little pressure on him. And if they keep trying to make up excuses, that's probably going to be a hint. Because then if he tries to do it the next date, he might flood it with different videos so that you won't see the truth. Okay? But, anyways, thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.